Did you see that shit? MMA podcast. Hosted by mixed martial arts journalist Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21, and Chicago's number one underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal.
Thank you for listening. I am Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21, with Chicago's number one underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal. We appreciate it, guys. If you like the interview, and I know you will, be sure to go ahead and listen to the full episode. You can find it on our website, didyousseethatshit.com, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, pretty much wherever you find your favorite podcast. Be sure to listen to the whole episode. We appreciate it very much, guys. Right now, I want to welcome Juan the Spaniard Archuleta. He just signed a 4-fight deal with Bellator, and he makes his debut March 2nd. That's this Friday at Bellator 195. What's going on, Juan?
Not much. Just sitting here in the hotel, waiting to do some media stuff and some workout. So just hanging out.
Well, I appreciate you taking some time with us, man. Fight week, I know it is a crazy busy week for you guys, and this being your first time competing at Bellator, it's probably a little bit different for you, but many promotions were vying for your services. You're probably one of the hottest prospects out there, or you were one of the hottest prospects out there. Ultimately, why did you decide that Bellator was the place for you?
Yeah, Bellator's awesome. You know, I kind of just being here, I have some familiarities with other fighters that I've, trained with, Cub, TJ, being around their fight week. So it's just growing, adapted to what they have, what their obligations are. So being here now is just like, another step for me, and it feels like home. As far as signing with Bellator, I left the signing option you want me to fight for. Let's make it happen, and I know that I'll go full board and, and I'll train the hardest I could do, and just to shine and be a standout for sure in any organization you put me in. And I've always known Bellator. I've always wanted to fight for them. I've had a couple buddies fight for them, so it was always something that I envisioned doing anyway.
I think that they're doing it the right way. I'm a big Scott Coker fan. I think you're going to fit right in there. You mentioned some of the guys you train with. You kind of have a little super camp. How did all that come together?
Oh, man, it's just been a blessing in disguise. I think a lot of MMA fighters, once they start finding their groove and they start, eliminating all the hassle out of their camps and starting to realize what they want, they find a group of guys together that they could train with and that they're comfortable with. And, that's pretty much what happened with us. It just happened naturally and organically, and we've just been training ever since and created a little team, and it's growing fast, and it's growing with many top fighters, and we're just blessed to be able to have that opportunity thanks to one of our sponsors, Steve Martin out of Legacy, who provided a building for us. And he just he loves the sport of MMA, and he just wanted to see guys taken care of and guys being helped out, mainly how it started, and then from there on we've just been growing it, and it's been taking off rapidly.
Man, that's so cool. We need more people like that, in the sport of mixed martial arts. Juan, you've compiled super impressive at 18-1 record. You're on a 13-fight win streak, but personally, I still feel like you're underrated. Do you feel like you don't get the shine you deserve?
Yeah, I don't go out there and try to make other people happy. I'm doing it for my own deal, and I know in time, it's going to happen. They'll say that I came out of nowhere, but in reality, all the people that I've trained with and the people that have helped me to where I'm at now know my capabilities. And when I'm able to go out there and perform on the bright lights and the big, it's gonna feel like home. So underrated, I wouldn't say, but there's always a proving ground, when you leave one organization to the next. So whether it be someone leave Bellator for UFC, or someone leaves UFC for Bellator, or in my case leaving King of the Cage to Bellator, there's always going to be a proving ground.
Oh yeah, you're right about that, man, and you're definitely right when when all the people say, yeah, he came from nowhere. No, dude, he's been doing this for the last 10 years. Check it out. But featherweight in Bellator is really crowded. Do you plan on staying there, or do you maybe bounce around to lightweight, or you haven't thought about that yet?
No, I just definitely want to get in first and get my feet wet inside the organization. I left it open to them, and they asked me if I wanted to fight 145. They had this fight for me, and I said absolutely. And so basically You know, Scott Coker and Rich Chow, they do a good job of matchmaking and finding opponents. So, you know, I have full belief in them promoting me, and you know, that what's going to make best for the promotion is going to make best for me as well.
For sure, man. Your opponent, Zach Church. Do you know anything of him?
Well, he actually pulled out of the fight, and they found a fighter on short notice named William Joplin. So yeah, he's out of James Krause's Glory Kickboxing MMA, and you know, he trains there with Zach Cummings, James, Tim Elliott. So tough opponent, you know, definitely a scrapper and a gamer. Given a chance of his career that he wanted for so long, and now it makes for a dangerous opponent because he definitely wants to come in there and make some noise as well, you know?
You know, it sounds from what you're saying, man, it sounds like he might even be more, taking nothing away from Zach, it sounds like he may be even a little bit more dangerous than Zach Church, your original opponent there. You didn't think for 1 second about not taking a fight, right? You just wanted to fight.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, they called me and said, hey, we got to pull out of the guy pulled out of the fight, and then I was like, okay, and they said, but we're gonna find a replacement. I said, I have full faith. Whatever you guys put in front of me, I've been training my butt off. I've been wanting to fight since the LA card, so let's get it done.
Yeah, you know, Bellator's really good at putting last-minute fights together when things like that happen. You know, before I let you go, man, I wanted to ask you real quick about your nickname, the Spaniard. I love it. It reminds me of Gladiator. What's your origin story behind that?
Yeah, you know, that's definitely where I got it from, was the movie Gladiator. You know, the character in the movie he just plays, you know, a wholehearted guy that got everything taken away from him, and went to go try to put himself in the position he was in. And I feel like that's pretty much my life story as well, you know. And now I'm here to make a name for myself and represent my heritage, and, you know, represent my ancestors. You know, I feel like Spain is a little bit as well underrated as a MMA country, and I'm here to help put them on the map, and, you know, hopefully get some recognition for that.
For sure, you could probably start changing your name to the Belt Collector, because I saw that picture you have on social media. What, we got like 9 or 11 belts now, man?
7 total. One organization, and then outside King of the Cage, you know, California Fight League, True Form Entertainment, Gladiator Challenge.
You'll have another one soon for Bellator, I'm sure, man. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap it up?
I just want to thank everyone that's been supporting me. Thanks to Bellator for making this happen, and all my training partners, my coaches, the training lab, my sponsors, Elite Sports, USA, Legacy Builders, Boost Mobile, and everyone else, Snyder Services, that helped me out and made this dream come true, and my family, my wife, my kids that's been supporting me. And thank you for your time. Absolutely,
man. I can't wait for your fight this weekend at Bellator 195. Could you do me a little favor? We kind of have a tradition here. If you could you say, this is Juan Archuleta, and you're listening to the Did You See That Shit podcast?
This is Juan Archuleta, Did You See That Shit podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Appreciate your time, sir.